The space you left behind when people leave, they don't really go away. They stay in empty chairs, in unread messages, in songs you can't skip anymore. Ethan learned this the hard way. Ethan noticed the silence before he noticed anything else. It was strange how quiet his room had become. Not the peaceful kind of quiet, this one felt heavy, like the air itself was tired. His phone lay face down on the desk, exactly where he had placed it hours ago. He already knew there were no new notifications. He didn't need to check. Still, he turned it over. Nothing. He sighed and leaned back in his chair, staring at the ceiling. There was a crack there, thin and crooked, shaped almost like a river. He had traced it with his eyes so many times that he could do it with them closed. Lena used to lie on his bed and say the crack looked like a lightning bolt. Or maybe it's the world breaking, she once joked. He should have laughed more that day. Too, they met in the most ordinary way in line, late at night, when neither of them could sleep. She had replied to something stupid he posted, and he replied back with sarcasm. Somehow sarcasm turned into conversation, and conversation turned into habit. Soon she was the first person he talked to every morning and the last one at night. She liked old music and rainy weather. She overthought everything and apologized too much. She had dreams she didn't fully believe in and fears she never spoke about clearly. And then liked that she listened. Really listened. "You feel like home," she once typed. He stared at that message for a long time before replying. "You do too." Neither of them knew how dangerous those words were. The first sign of change was small. Her replies became slower. Not cold, just delayed. She still laughed at his jokes, still asked how his day was, but something was missing, like a pause between breaths. "You okay?" he asked one night. "You," she replied, "just tired." Tired became busy. Busy became silence. And then told himself he was overthinking. People had lives. Things happened. Not everything meant something, but his chest felt tight anyway. One night he sent a long message. Not accusing, not angry, just honest. "I don't know if I'm imagining things, but I feel you slipping away. If I did something wrong, please tell me. I'd rather hear the truth than lose you quietly." He watched the screen as the message sent, delivered, seen. No reply. That was the night the silence stopped being quiet and started being painful. 5 days passed. Evan kept living because that's what people do when they don't know what else to do. He went to classes. He ate food without tasting it. He laughed at jokes that didn't reach his eyes. Every night he reread old chats, the good morning messages, the late night confessions, the voice notes where she laughed so hard she forgot what she was saying. How could someone disappear while still being alive? When Lena finally replied, it wasn't what he expected. "I'm sorry," she wrote. "I didn't mean to hurt you, that was it." No explanation, no reason, just an apology that felt like a door closing softly. "What happened?" he asked. She took hours to respond. "I changed," she said, "and I don't think I belong in your life the way I used to." And then stared at the words until they blurred. "You don't just change without a reason," he typed. "I know," she replied. "But some reasons are hard to explain. Some reasons are just other people." He thought. He didn't send that. They tried to stay friends. That word felt wrong in his mouth. Friends didn't at you like this. Friends didn't make your heart race just by typing your name. She became polite, careful, distant, and one day she stopped texting first altogether. I then realized something terrifying then. If he didn't reach out, they wouldn't talk at all. So he stopped. Not to test her, just because he was tired. 8 weeks turned into months. The world moved on. He didn't. He saw her online sometimes, posting smiles, living, being okay. He was glad she was okay. He hated that he wasn't. Some nights he imagined what he would say if she came back. Other nights he practiced letting her go. Neither worked. On a rainy evening, his phone buzzed. Her name. For a second, everything stopped. "Way," she wrote. I was just thinking about you. Evan's hands shook. They talked for hours, about memories, about old jokes, about nothing and everything. It almost felt like before. Almost. At the end she wrote, "I missed you." Evan typed and erased his reply 5 times. Finally, he sent, "I never stopped." She didn't respond. That was the last conversation they ever had. 10 years later, Evan would still think of her randomly, in coffee shops, in songs, in the way rain hit windows. He learned to smile again, to love again, even. But some nights when the world was quiet, he felt the familiar action, not sharp, not overwhelming, just there. Because some people don't break your heart. They simply take a piece of it with them and leave you to grow around the empty space. 11. Ending. Evan no longer checked his phone at night. He no longer waited. But sometimes, before sleeping, he whispered into the dark, "I hope you found what you were looking for." And somewhere, in a life he would never touch again, Lena existed as a memory, soft, painful, and impossible to forget.